We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Now, Buddha is speaking. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his, means Shri Krishna's transcendental body, is the ornament of all ornaments. Sai Maharaj is telling, when the Lord's pastimes are visible to the human eye, they are called prakata, that is manifest, and when they are not visible, they are called aprakata. In fact, the Lord's pastimes never stop, just as the sun never leaves the sky. The sun is always in its right orbit in the sky, but it is sometimes visible and sometimes invisible to our limited vision. Similarly, the pastimes of the Lord are always current in one universe or another, and when Lord Krishna disappeared from the transcendental abode of Dwarka, it was simply a disappearance from the eyes of the people there. It should not be misunderstood that his transcendental body, which is just suitable for the pastimes in the material world, is in any way inferior to his different expansions in the Vaikuntha Loka. His body manifested in the material world is transcendental par excellence, in the sense that his pastimes in the mortal world excel his mercy displayed in the Vaikuntha Lokas. So when he comes, that does not mean that he's taking any material form. He comes in his transcendental form by his own Yogamaya, but not all can recognize. Those with material vision, they see like ordinary human beings, so they think he died, but he did not die. Only disappeared with Lila, and once Narad Goswami was astonished when he came to this material world and saw Vrindavan Lila here in this world. He said, this is even more beautiful than it is in Golok Vrindavan. Why? Because if you put diamond in some light area under sun or like this, then you will not see his shine so much. It will not be so exhibited. But if you put diamond in some dark place, then his shine will be more visible. Like that, when Krishna appears in this dark material world, his lila appears more beautiful. So Narad Goswami wanted to do bhajan here, in this world, in Vrindavan. Also Gopa Kumar. He visited all places, but ultimately he wanted to do bhajan in Vrindavan, in this world. And those who have transcendental eyes, they can see that Leela and everything in Vrindavan is spiritual. But we have to gain that qualification. Yadharma sunor bata rajasuye nirikshadrik swastyayanam triloka kartsnena chadyeha gatam vidhatur arvak srito kaushalam iti amanyata. All the demigods from the upper, lower and middle universal planetary systems assembled at the altar of the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma, the creator of human beings. Yasyanu pluta hasa rasa lila valoka pratilabdamana braja striyo drigbir anu pravrita dhiyo vatastu kila kritya shesha. Of course, Brahma did not create Krishna. But when they saw so beautiful, then they thought, yes, this is the topmost creation of Brahma. They thought like that. The damsels of Braja, that is Gopis, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duties. So attracted. Swashanta rupeshu itareih swarupair abhyardhya maneshu anukampitatma paravaresho mahatangsha yukto hyajopi jato bhagavan jatagni. The personality of Godhead, the all-compassionate controller of both the spiritual and material creations, is unborn. But when there is friction between his peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, he takes birth just like fire, accompanied by the Mahatattva. The Lord is everywhere in both the material and spiritual domains, and he appears for the sake of his devotees when there is friction between his devotee and non-devotee. For Prahlad, and here also many examples. Maharaj Ambarish was harassed like this, and in Haridas Thakur's case also Krishna appeared. Mam khedayatyetat ajasya janma vidambanam yat vasudevagehe braja chavasuri bhayat iva swayam purat vyavatsit yat anantavirya. When I think of Lord Krishna, how he was born in the prison house of Vasudeva, although he is unborn, how he went away from his father's protection to Braja and lived there incognito out of fear of the enemy, and how, although unlimitedly powerful, he fled from Mathura in fear. All these bewildering incidents give me distress. This is Krishna's lila like this. Not that he is afraid, but doing such lila, so that those loving relationships can go to highest point. Dunoti chetah smarato mamaitat yat aha padav abhi vandya pitroh tatamba kamsat uru shankitanam prasidatam no krita nishkritinam. Lord Krishna begged pardon from his parents for their, means Krishna and Balaram's, inability to serve their feet due to being away from home because of great fear of Kamsa. He said, "O mother, O father, please excuse us for this inability. All this behavior of the Lord gives me pain at heart." This is out of separation, grief. And also, Uddhav was simply struck with wonder by such glorious behavior of the Lord, and he was very sorry that he was unable to go with him to the transcendental abode. He's always feeling separation, grief from Krishna. That outwardly seems like pain if we see some devotee, but internally they are tasting highest bliss. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is one type of transcendental bliss, that in separation, because it is related to Krishna, so it is blissful, and it is even more intense than in union. Kova amushyangri sarojarenu vismartum ishita puman vijigran yo vispurat bru vitapena bhumer bharam kritantena tirashchakara. Who, after smelling the dust of his lotus feet even once, could ever forget it? Simply by expanding the leaves of his eyebrows, Krishna has given a dead blow to those who were burdening the earth. Simple raising of his eyebrows he could deliver dead blows to those who were burdening the earth. Drishta bhavadbir nano rajasuye chaidyasya krishnam dvishato pisidih yam yoginam samsprihayanti samyak yogena kastat viraham sahita. You have personally seen how the king of Chedi, that is Shishupal, achieved success in yoga practice, although he hated Lord Krishna. Even the actual yogis aspire after such success with great interest by performance of their various practices. Who can tolerate separation from him? Shishupal was also liberated because Krishna killed him. So he got that transcendental position, merging. But there is no suffering, this material suffering there. So who can tolerate separation from him? It was seen by everyone in the assembly that the light flashed out of the body of the king of Chedi, that is Shishupal, and merged into the body of Lord Krishna. This means that Chedi Raja achieved the salvation of attaining oneness with the Supreme, which is a perfection most desired by the Jnanis and Yogis, and for which they execute their different types of transcendental activities. That is liberation, to be free of these worldly miseries. But devotees, they don't aspire for this. They aspire for transcendental service of Krishna. That is far more blissful than this merging. Tathaiva chanye naraloka vira ya ahave Krishna mukharavindam netraih pibanto nayana viramam partastra putah padam apurasya. Certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Shishupal, here it is written in commentary, achieved oneness with the Lord by merging into the person glare of his body because he was hating. His love was not awakened. Others who were in the marginal position, being neither friends nor enemies, but slightly in love of Godhead by appreciating the beauty of his face, were at once promoted to the spiritual planets, the Vaikunthas. Those whose love of God is awakened to the fullest extent go back to the goal of Vrindavan planet in the spiritual sky. Whereas persons who have just awakened to love of Godhead by accident or association are transferred to the Vaikuntha planets. So these warriors who appreciated the lotus seat of the Lord and saw his face at the front had their dormant love of God awakened, and thus they were transferred at once to Vaikuntha Loka, not to the impersonal state of Brahma Jyoti, as was Shishupal. Shishupal died without appreciating the Lord, while others died with appreciation of the Lord. Both were transferred to the spiritual sky, but those who awakened to love of God were transferred to the planets of the transcendental sky. That Brahmajyoti is also transcendental sky, but there is no activity there. Only like sleep, pleasant sleep. But in Vaikuntha Lokas, planets, and Goloka is highest, there is lila going on, and you get the service of Krishna. Swayam tvasamyati shayas triyadisha swarajya lakshmi apta samasta kama balim haradbish chira lokapale kirita koti edita pada pita. Lord Shri Krishna is the Lord of all kinds of trees and is independently supreme by achievement of all kinds of fortune. He is worshipped by the eternal maintainers of the creation, who offer him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet. This all kinds of trees means tree. He is the supreme lord of the three worlds, the three qualities of material nature, and the three Purushas. So here also they're touching their millions of helmets to his feet. You heard in Chaitanya Charitamrita, once Brahma came to visit Krishna in Dwaraka, and the gatekeeper asked him what he wants. He said, I want to take darshan of Krishna. Then gatekeeper came, asked Krishna that someone is there, Brahma is there, he wants to take your darshan. Then Krishna asked which Brahma. Then the gatekeeper again came back to Brahma and asked him which Brahma you are. Krishna is asking. Then Brahma was astonished. What do you mean which Brahma? I am the only one Brahma. I am Brahma, four-headed Brahma, the son of four Kumaras. Then he went back to Krishna and Krishna said, okay, you can let him in. So Brahma came and offered Dandavat and was wondering why Krishna asked which Brahma. Then suddenly one Brahma with 8 heads came and he offered Dandavat to Krishna. And another Brahma came with 16 heads and 32 heads and 64, 128 and like this 1,000 head, 10,000 head Brahma. They were all offering Dandavat to Krishna and their helmets were touching. There was sound. The lotus feet of Krishna. So Krishna wanted to show that to like crush false pride of this Brahma, four-headed Brahma, he was taught, I am the only one Brahma. I am supreme created being So Krishna made this pastime, so that Brahma then was very humble. And only this Brahma, four-headed Brahma, could see other Brahmas. Other Brahmas thought they came alone. So Krishna is always making this. Of course, this is teaching given to us, that we should not have any false pride at any time. Brahma is our guru, but he's playing so many pastimes in which he is like used to give us teaching, like in stealing the cowherd boys and calves, and being attracted to his own daughter, and hear this. So whenever there is any kind of false pride, then there can be no devotion to Krishna. That is why Trinada Pisunichana and Sarvapadivi Nirmuktam must be there. You have to be free of all worldly egos, any kind of pride, any misidentification with matter. You have to be in your real self. Then you can do actual service of Krishna. Otherwise, you will do outwardly like service to Krishna, but for getting something from him, position, pride. That is why also in 4th canto there, in the, no, it is in 6th canto, in the case of Vritrasur and Indra, they were fighting. Then Vritrasur said, "You kill me." Then Indra thought there is some trick here. No one wants to die, he wants to throw back that weapon, he knows. Then Vritrasur understood that Indra is not understanding, so he told him, "You kill me, then I will go to Supreme Lord. I want to go to him." Then Indra thought, he's speaking as a devotee, surely Krishna will fulfill his desire. He will give him this heavenly kingdom. He will give to him because he is a devotee. Then Vritrasur said, "I am devotee and you are also devotee. But you are devotee of Krishna for what purpose? You want to protect your heavenly kingdom. That is why you are worshipping him. But I am not like that. I am his pure servant. So you don't worry. You throw that weapon to me, because Krishna, out of love, he will not give me that heavenly kingdom. So you throw." But still Indra could not understand. His consciousness could not go so far as to understand what is pure devotion, and that really he does not desire that, and really Krishna will not give him. So finally Vritrasur had to pray directly to Supreme Lord. So there is worship of Supreme Lord in higher planetary systems also, but for what purpose? For some this heavenly, or for liberation, or like this. But pure devotional service is on transcendental platform, that eternal, that is by sadhu sangha, one can awaken. That is beneficial. That is why Gopakumar in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when he was traveling through all those places, he got some happiness for the time being, but because he was chanting that Krishna mantra, after some time he could not feel satisfied, fulfilled there. So he went through all this, he was not fulfilled anywhere. Even in Vaikuntha he was not fulfilled, because his Swarup was for Vrindavan. So our fulfillment lies in our ultimate eternal destination according to our rasa, and that we can get by chanting mantra given by bona fide guru that will take us to our ultimate goal. So, the eternal maintainers of the creation who offer him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet. Tat tasya So here is different manifestations of Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra. So all these, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, three Purusha avatars, all three worlds, all qualities of nature, even transcendental controllers surrender to him and make all offerings of worship. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ekale Ishwar Krishna are Sabritya. He is the only one. Supreme Controller, all others are his servants. Tat tasya kainkaryam alam brita no viglapayatyanga yat ugrasenam tishtan nishanam parameshti dishne nya bodhayat deva nidharayati. Therefore, O Vidur, does it not pain us, his servitors, when we remember that he, Lord Krishna, used to stand before King Ugrasen, who was sitting on the royal throne, and used to submit explanations before him, saying, "O my Lord, please let it be known to you." That is Krishna behaving exemplary to his superiors, grandfather, his father, elder brother, like that. This verse. Aho bakiyam stana kalakutam jigam sa yapa yayat apyasadvi lebe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam kam vadayalum sharanam brajema. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Utana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Here is an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord, even to his enemy. It is said that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts nectar from a stalk of poison. So who is more merciful than Krishna? Even she had the desire to kill him, but because she acted as a mother, Krishna gave her that service. When Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard this verse, his Krishna Prema became visible to Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit was at first doubting. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is so enjoying all this opulence and all this. How he can be devotee? So Mukunda understood. Then he recited this verse, and hearing this verse, how merciful Krishna is, then Pundarik Vidyanidhi got all ecstatical symptoms, and he threw all those opulences and servants and everything and was rolling on the ground in ecstasy and saying, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna. Then Gadadhar could understand he's a real devotee, pure devotee. Otherwise, no one can do like that, throw everything. So that was only to deceive the public, to hide his devotion. Then Gadadhar took initiation from him, and also Shukadeva Goswami, when he went to forest after being born, because he was Jnani, he did not want to be entangled in any worldly things and relations, so immediately he ran to forest. Vyasadeva also could not stop him. But later, when Vyasadeva wrote Bhagavatam, then he told to woodcutters, you go to forest and you chant this verse. Then because Shukadeva Goswami was Brahma Jnani, he was transcendentally situated, thinking of impersonal Brahma. When he heard this verse, he asked them, those woodcutters, who is he about whom you are speaking? Who is he? This. Aho Bhakyam Stana Kala. He who is so merciful, he gave this. So Shukadeva Goswami asked, who is he? Then woodcutters did not know. They said, for that, to know him, you have to go to your father. He gave us this verse. Then Shukadeva Goswami came back and he inquired. And then Vyasadeva spoke Bhagavatam to him, and Shukadeva Goswami became attracted to Krishna transcendental, that is superior. So then he is speaking now to Parikshit Maharaj. Manya Suran Bhagavatam Triyadishe Samramba Margha Binivishta Chitan Ye Samyuge Chakshata Tarkshya Putram Amse Suna Bhayudham Apatantam. I consider the demons who are inimical toward the Lord to be more than the devotees, because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Tarkshya, that is Kashyapa, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. The Asuras, Sai Maharaj is explaining, the Asuras who fought against the Lord face to face got salvation due to their being killed by the Lord. This salvation of the demons is not due to their being devotees of the Lord. It is because of the Lord's causeless mercy. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord somehow or other is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation, due to the excellence of the Lord. He is so kind that he awards salvation even to his enemies, because they come in contact with him and are indirectly absorbed in him by their inimical thoughts. Actually, the demons can never be equal to the pure devotees, but Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that at the last stage of his life, he might not be able to see the Lord face to face as did the demons. The fact is that the devotees who are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord in transcendental love are rewarded many hundreds and thousands of times more than the demons by being elevated to the spiritual planets, where they remain with the Lord in eternal blissful existence. The demons and impersonalists are awarded the facility of merging in the Brahmajyoti effulgence of the Lord, whereas the devotees are admitted into the spiritual planets. But Uddhav here is in some special mood of separation, so he was thinking like that. Or those who are Uttamadhikaris, they see all are serving Supreme Lord, either directly or indirectly. they're increasing or making others know his glory. Like Hiranyakashipu, without him, the glory of Prahlad and Rishinga Bhagavan cannot be so much manifested. So he's also indirectly serving. So Uttamadhikari is there in this mood. All are serving Krishna except me. I am unable to serve him. Such humbleness he has, having that vision. So those who are Uttamadhikaris, in their Uttamadhikari bhav, they can never be preachers or gurus to rescue the fallen souls, because they see everyone is engaged in the service of Krishna except me. So humble. But if Krishna orders them to preach, then they will play the pastimes of Madhyam. Madhyam, they are discriminating. These are souls inclined to serve Krishna, and these are souls not inclined. So those who are not inclined, I have to make them inclined to serve Krishna. They are preaching, but they are avoiding those who are very much against. They are inspiring and blessing and guiding those who are innocent, ignorant, and if you tell them about Krishna, then they will have faith and they will be ready. But those who are not ready, they will not give them time, because they have to get their own experience of those things. When they will also gather enough Sukriti, they will also be willing, but at this time they are not. So Madhyam, those who are preachers, they will not waste time with them. They will help those who are willing. And they will have friendship with devotees. Vasudevasya Devakyam Jato Bhojendra Bandhane Chikir Shur Bhagavan Asya Sham Ajena Bi Yachitaha. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Bhoja. This is Lila, not actually by karma begotten. Lila. Brahma also was instrumental to call Krishna on the behalf of Mother Earth to release her. So Krishna is fulfilling many purposes when he appears in this world, but main purpose is to give satisfaction to his devotees and to attract conditioned souls to become inclined to serve him. Tato Nanda Brajam Itah Pitra Kamsa Vibhyata Ekadasha Samastatra Gadarchik Sabalo Vasat. Thereafter, his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pastures of Maharaj Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baladev. Parito Vatsapair Vatsamsh Charyan Vyaharat Vibhuh Yamuno Pavane Kuja Dvija Sankulitan Gripe. I'm seeing if it is explained. Because here it is mentioned like covered flame, like incognito, as was mentioned before, seemingly out of fear of Kamsa, so not fully exhibiting, but all rasas are fully exhibited only in Vrindavan. to the highest degree. When he comes to Mathura and shows some opulence like this, then already there is restriction in love. But in Vrindavan, there is no knowledge that he is God. Only pure loving relationships are there to highest degree. Parit, this I read already. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of the Jamuna river through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrations of chirping birds. Because Kshatriyas, they already have some opulence. Brahmins, they have knowledge like this. But Vaishya is simple living. And so loving relationships can be more intimate, no any restriction. That is why playing like a Vaishya, cowherd boy. So intimately. That is why I told that day. Also Krishna's opulence means that decoration is peacock feather from the village. Not any diamonds and crown and this. Kaumarin darsha yamshcheshtam prekshaniyam vrajaukasam rudan iva hasan mugda bala simha valokana. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child, and while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub, small lion. Sa eva go dhanam lakshmya niketam sito govrisham charayan anugan gopan rana dvenur ari ramat. While herding the very beautiful bulls, the Lord, who was the reservoir of all opulence and fortune, used to blow his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers, the cowherd boys. There you will find in Jaiva Dharma, it is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. For different rasas, there are different udipanas, stimulants to enliven. So in that peacock feather is also mentioned. It stimulates that certain type of attraction to Krishna, and his flute and his standing pose, and for different rasas, different qualities are stimulants more. For Vatsalya like this. So their peacock feather also is mentioned. It is suitable for this kind of lila. Prayuktan bhoja rajena mainah kama rupina lilaya vya nudat tam stan balah krira nakan iva. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bhoja Kamsa to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastimes the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. Wizards, like magicians, but wizard is the demons. So all these demons in Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned. It is not directly Nandanandan Krishna is killing them. It is Vishnu inside him. He is killing those demons. But Sridhar Maharaj told there is some difference also. as with Yuga avatars or when Nandanana Krishna comes. He gives that higher destination, that Braja Prem. Other avatars, Yuga avatars, they are not giving, but Krishna is giving. Some difference is there, even in his killing demons or Vishnu killing demons. Vipanan Visha Panena Nigrihya Bhuja Gadipam Utha Pya Payaya Gavas Tat Toyam Prakriti Stitam. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, this Putana is example, that she did not get liberation, but she got in Brajadham that service as a wet nurse. The inhabitants of Vrindavan were perplexed by great difficulties because a certain portion of the Jamuna was poisoned by the chief of the reptiles, Kalia. The Lord chastised the snake king within the water and drove him away, and after coming out of the river, he caused the cows to drink the water and proved that the water was again in its natural state. Aya Jayad Go Savena Gopa Rajam Dvijotameh Pitasya Choru Bharasya Chikirshan Satvyayam Vibhu. The Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaj Nanda for worship of the cows, and also he wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of Go, or the pasturing land, and the cows with the help of learned Brahmanas. Because Indra, he was also puffed up. He became angry. Why Krishna, some cowherd boy, is stopping my worship? Who he thinks he is? I will destroy whole Brajadham. Because Krishna asked his father, Nanda Maharaj, why so much these preparations? For what purpose? Then Maharaj Nanda explained, because we have to worship Indra. He's giving rains, and that will give grass, and that is food for cows, and we are making this for our livelihood, serving the cows and selling those products. So we have to worship Indra, to give rain once in a year. Then Krishna said, no, Indra is not someone who gives the results. It is, Krishna played like one type of philosophy that everything depends on karma. No, there is no one there, and also even Indra, he's giving rain also to the sea. There is no need. So what is his intelligence like this? So Krishna, many reasons he gave, and Nanda Maharaj, out of affection for Krishna, he was so much attracted by his sweet words that he agreed, yes, we will worship Govardhan, we will worship cows, that will be better. So then Indra became angry. Varsha Tindre Vraja Kopat Bhagna Mane Tivihvalach Gotra Lila Tapatrena Trato Bhadra Nu Grihnata. O sober Vidura, King Indra, his honor having been insulted, poured water incessantly on Vrindavan, and thus the inhabitants of Braja, the land of cows, were greatly distressed. But the compassionate Lord Krishna saved them from danger with his pastime umbrella, the Govardhan hill. Bol Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Giridhari Gopal ki jai. Sharat Chashi Kareir Mrishtam Manayan Rajani Mukham Gayan Kala Padam Reme Strina Mandala Mandana. In the third season of the year, the Lord enjoyed as the central beauty of the assembly of women by attracting them with his pleasing songs in an autumn night, brightened by moonshine. That is his Rasa Lila pastimes. Here, Uddhava stopped his description of the Lord's activities up to this point. So tomorrow we will start new chapter 3.